My child, I know the exact kind of pain you have been carrying in silence. I know what it feels like to smile on the outside while your heart is screaming on the inside. I know what it is to lie awake at night with that heavy, haunting question turning over and over in your mind. Why does this keep happening to me? I know the sting of watching other people be chosen, cherished, pursued, while you are left with crumbs, confusion, and waiting. I know the ache of feeling like you were almost loved, almost seen, almost promised something beautiful, and then somehow the ground shifted beneath you. Beloved, I see the part of you that wonders if you are the problem. I see the part of you that is tired of hoping, tired of being disappointed, tired of giving your heart to people who never told the truth in the first place. You have been trying so hard to make sense of what feels broken, and the silence has been crushing you. And yes, I know what it did to you when you started sensing that something was off. You could not explain it at first, but your spirit kept picking up on inconsistencies. The words did not match the actions. The promises did not match the patterns. The attention came and went like wind. One day it felt warm, close, intentional, and then the next day it felt distant, guarded, slippery. And because your heart wanted peace, you tried to explain it away. You told yourself not to overthink. You told yourself to be patient. You told yourself that maybe this was just fear talking. But deep down, my child, something in you knew there was more beneath the surface. Something was hidden. Something was not being said. Now listen to me carefully. You have been searching for answers in places that cannot give you peace. You have been looking for signs in every little thing, trying to force meaning out of random moments, because your soul is desperate for certainty. You have been asking the wrong voices, reading too much into timing, hoping that manifestation will somehow pull the right person into your life, hoping luck will finally smile on you, hoping the next sign, the next message, the next coincidence will explain what your heart cannot bear to lose. But my child, those things were never meant to carry the weight of your destiny. They were never meant to reveal the truth about a relationship. They were never meant to sit on my throne in your heart. And they cannot give you what only I can give: clarity, protection, and timing that does not fail. Beloved, I need you to hear me with your whole heart. I am not confused about what is happening around you. I am not guessing. I am not late. I am not pacing heaven, wondering how to fix the mess people have made. I see what is hidden. I hear what was said behind closed doors. I know the parts of this situation that never reached your ears. I know the conversations you were not invited into. I know the messages that were deleted, the details that were softened, the truths that were conveniently left out, and the motives that were never pure to begin with. You thought you were only dealing with uncertainty, but there has been concealment, and I am not speaking to frighten you. I am speaking to free you. There is someone you trust, and my child, they are not telling you everything. That does not mean every word they have spoken is a lie, but it does mean something is being held back. Something important. Something that matters. You have felt the tension in your spirit, even when their face looked calm and their voice sounded steady. You have noticed the pauses, the changing stories, the unfinished sentences, the little distractions meant to keep you from asking deeper questions. You have been trying to trust what you see, but your spirit has been trying to warn you that not everything visible is true. And the reason this has unsettled you so deeply is because it touches the tenderest place in your heart, the place where you hoped God had finally brought you someone safe. I know how much you long to believe that this could be the one. I know how much you want the story to be simple. You want the right person, the right timing, the right future, the blessing without the breaking. You want love that does not require you to decode every sentence and second-guess every silence. You want a soulmate? Yes, but not just romance. You want covenant. You want honesty. You want the kind of connection that makes your heart breathe easy instead of clench in fear. And because your desire is so real, the enemy has worked hard to tangle it with confusion. He has used delay to make you doubt me. He has used mixed signals to make you distrust your own discernment. He has used the fear of being alone to make you settle for half-truths. But my beloved, I have not abandoned you in this. I have been moving in places you cannot see. You have been asking, Lord, is this person really for me? And I am telling you that the answer is not found in one emotional moment, one spiritual impression, or one flattering conversation. The answer is found in the fruit. The answer is found in consistency. The answer is found in what is hidden when no one is watching. And yes, I know it is hard when your emotions are screaming louder than wisdom. I know it is hard when you are scared of losing what you never fully had. But hear me, a love that requires deception cannot carry the weight of your future. A soul tie built on withheld truth will eventually collapse under the strain of reality. I do not lead my children into unions where the foundation is secrecy. I do not ask you to ignore what I have made plain to your spirit. Some of you have been trying to manifest a relationship that I have already put a warning on. You have been declaring, visualizing, waiting for the universe to align, as if enough longing can make a crooked path straight. But my child, the universe is not your father. Chance is not your shepherd. Luck is not your covering. I am. And when I love you, I do not simply give you what your flesh wants in the moment. I give you what will protect your soul in the long run. Sometimes that means I delay. Sometimes that means I uncover. Sometimes that means I remove the fantasy so I can save you from the pain of building your life on a lie. You have not imagined this unease. You have not made this up. There is a reason peace keeps leaving whenever you think this thing is settled. There is a reason your mind keeps circling back to the same unanswered questions. There is a reason your prayers do not feel fully released. I have allowed the uneasiness to remain because I am trying to keep you from being deceived by appearance alone. When I expose hidden things, I do it not to humiliate you, but to spare you from investing your heart in what cannot hold you. What is concealed cannot stay concealed forever. What is done in the dark cannot outrun my light. What is being hidden about your soulmate, your relationship, your path, will not remain buried much longer. Beloved, I know how badly you want someone to choose you plainly, to speak clearly, to stop the games, to stop the spiritual double talk, to stop making you feel like you are asking for too much just because you want truth. But hear me now, truth is not too much. Discernment is not paranoia. Waiting on clarity is not weakness. It is wisdom. And if someone is offended by your desire for honesty, that tells you something already. If they only want your trust while refusing transparency, that is not love, that is control. If they keep your heart in suspense while expecting your loyalty, that is not covenant, that is concealment. I know you may feel guilty for even entertaining these thoughts. You may be asking yourself, am I being suspicious? Am I being overly sensitive? Should I just let this go and believe the best? My child, believing the best does not mean abandoning discernment. Hope does not require blindness. Love does not demand denial. I made you with a spirit that can sense when something is not aligned. And when I place a check in your spirit, I am not trying to torment you. I am trying to guide you. You do not need to beg for signs when I have already given you conviction. You do not need to chase certainty through human effort when I am the God who reveals secrets in my appointed time. There is a reason this revelation is coming soon. Not because your pain has become unbearable to me, but because the appointed season has arrived for the truth to surface. Hidden motives do not stay hidden forever. Secret conversations do not remain secret forever. Half-truths do not last forever. The pressure of my light is increasing, and what has been concealed will begin to show itself through words, through actions, through sudden slips, through evidence you cannot ignore. I do not need your enemies to confess before I prove what is true. I do not need every detail to be handed to you by human honesty before I open your eyes. I can bring the truth forward in one moment, and what took months or years to confuse you can be clarified in a heartbeat. But before that unveiling, I need you to stop reaching for counterfeit comfort. Stop going back to the same person hoping they will suddenly become transparent. Stop trusting the same patterns just because the face is familiar. Stop letting your fear of being alone make you overlook what I have been highlighting. My child, I am not saying this to shame you. I am speaking as one who loves you enough to interrupt your attachment to what is unsafe. You have attached your hope to someone who has not been fully honest, and that attachment has been draining your peace. It has been exhausting your spirit. It has been making you accept confusion as normal. And I am calling you out of that place. Do you remember the times I tried to get your attention through the smallest things? The sudden restlessness after a conversation. The ache in your chest when something sounded too perfect. The uneasy feeling when you tried to ignore a question your heart kept asking. Those were not accidents. Those were my mercies. I was trying to keep you from building your future on assumptions. I was trying to slow you down long enough to see that not everyone who enters your life carries clean motives. Some people know how to say enough to keep you near, while withholding just enough to stay in control. Some people know how to sound sincere while protecting a private agenda. Some people present as prayerful, kind, even chosen, but beneath that surface, they are hiding something that would change everything if it were brought into the light. And yes, I know how much this hurts because it is not just about romantic longing. It is about trust itself. It is about every wound from before that made you vulnerable to the one who seemed safe. It is about the old ache of being overlooked, and now the newer ache of possibly being misled. It is about the fear that maybe your heart will never get the honest love it was made for. My beloved, I am not ignoring those layers. I know every layer. I know every scar. I know every time you overcompensated by being too available, too forgiving, too understanding, because you wanted to keep what felt precious. I know how easy it became to tell yourself that maybe if you loved harder, the truth would come out gently. But truth has a way of surfacing whether people are ready or not. And I am the one who decides when. Some of you have been praying, Lord, if this is not from you, remove it. And then when I begin to create distance, your heart panics. You assume distance means rejection. But what if distance is protection? What if the space you feel is the mercy of God pulling you back before the full betrayal lands? What if the delay is not punishment, but prevention? What if the thing you wanted so desperately was never meant to be received in the form you expected? I do not tell you this to make you fearful. I tell you because I am a faithful shepherd, and I do not let my sheep wander into traps without warning. You are not being punished. You are being guarded. Still, I know the human heart. I know how quickly it can cling to the hope that the person you trust will come clean before the truth finds them. You want them to sit you down and say, I need to tell you something. You want the confession. You want the apology. You want the clean ending or the clean beginning. But my child, you do not need to chase confessions to validate what I am already showing you. Some revelations come through words. Others come through evidence. Others come through the tightening of circumstances until lies can no longer breathe. And when the truth arrives, it will not arrive casually. It will arrive with weight. It will rearrange what you thought you knew. It will clarify why you felt what you felt. It will explain the tension that has been circling your spirit. I need you to understand something very important. Not every hidden thing is hidden because you are not worthy of the truth. Sometimes it is hidden because the other person is protecting their image, their options, their comfort, or another attachment they do not want to lose. They may be keeping something from you about their intentions. They may be keeping something from you about their past. They may be keeping something from you about another influence that has not been fully severed. They may even be keeping something from you about whether they are as ready as they have led you to believe. But whatever it is, my child, I am not asking you to expose it with your own strength. I am asking you to stand still long enough for me to reveal it in my way. You do not need to become a detective to survive what only discernment can handle. You do not need to stalk, force, or interrogate your way into peace. Peace does not come from snooping. Peace comes from surrender. That does not mean you pretend not to see what your spirit sees. It means you bring every concern under my authority and let me sort the noise from the truth. When I reveal cleanly. When I expose, I do it with purpose. When I close a door, I do it because what is beyond it cannot bless you. And when I open a door, no human deception can shut it again. Beloved, I want to speak tenderly to the part of you that has begun to blame yourself. You keep wondering if you asked for too much, loved too fast, trusted too deeply, hoped too openly. But your tenderness is not the problem. Your hunger for honesty is not the problem. Your desire for a soulmate is not the problem. The problem is never that you wanted love. The problem is when you placed your trust in someone who was not fully walking in truth. Do not let this season harden you against love. Let it refine your standards. Do not let one confusing relationship convince you that all love is unsafe. Let it teach you to listen more closely to me. I am not stripping you of romance. I am stripping you of deception. And because I love you, I am also stripping away false hope. That may sting at first. In fact, it may feel like grief. But grief is not the same as loss. Sometimes grief is simply the body's response to a lie ending. Sometimes grief is the soul releasing what it had imagined. Sometimes grief is the doorway to healing. So if you have been feeling emotional lately, if tears keep rising unexpectedly, if you feel like something in you is coming undone, do not fear. I am not breaking you. I am breaking what has been binding you to confusion. Listen to me, my child. There is a difference between waiting on me and waiting on a fantasy. There is a difference between covenant and chemistry. There is a difference between a person I am preparing and a person you are hoping will eventually become what you need. The one I choose for you will not require you to constantly question whether they are hiding something fundamental from you. They will not make truth feel like a prize you have to earn. They will not keep you in emotional suspense as a way to maintain control. They will walk in the light, and the light will make everything breathe. But right now, the issue before you is not only whether this person is your soulmate. The issue is whether the trust you placed in them has been misplaced. And if it has, I will deal with that gently but firmly. I will not leave you trapped in a false story because you prayed hard enough for it. My will for your life is not fragile. It does not depend on someone else's honesty to survive. My purpose for you will stand, even if a hidden thing is exposed. In fact, the exposure may be the very thing that saves you from building the wrong future with the wrong information. So when the shift begins, do not panic. When the conversation changes, do not rush to fill the silence. When facts come to light, do not let fear be the first voice you hear. Come back to me. Breathe. Let me steady you. I will show you what is true. I will show you what was said. I will show you what was intended. I will show you whether this relationship has been built on a foundation that can hold what you are asking of it. And if it cannot, I will not leave you in ruin. I will lead you out. My child, I know you are tired of the waiting, tired of the wondering, tired of seeing others move forward while you feel stuck in spiritual suspense. But do not despise this moment. The hidden thing that is being uncovered is not here to destroy you. It is here to spare you from a greater sorrow later. The truth will not always feel gentle when it arrives, but it will be merciful. And when it comes, you will understand why I kept nudging you, why I kept unsettling you, why I kept you from fully settling into what was not yet clear. Very soon, what was concealed will be brought into the open. Very soon, the pattern will make sense. Very soon, the inconsistency will be explained. Very soon, the person you trusted will not be able to keep everything buried. And when that moment comes, I want you anchored in me, not in shock, not in denial, not in panic. I want you ready to hear what I have been shielding you from until now. Stay with me, my beloved. Do not run ahead of my revelation. Do not force what I am about to uncover. Do not lean on manifestation, luck, or signs to carry you through what only my truth can resolve. I am with you in the ache. I am with you in the uncertainty. I am with you in the slow unraveling of what was never fully honest. And I promise you this, I will not let hidden things remain hidden forever. I will bring the truth to light, and when I do, you will see that I was protecting your heart all along. My child, I need you to understand why this has touched you so deeply, because until you see the root, you will keep thinking the problem is only the person in front of you. But the deeper wound is often older than the relationship. The hidden thing hurts so much because it brushed against a place in you that has been waiting a long time for safety. It touched your fear of being left. It touched your fear of being foolish. It touched your fear of needing someone too much and losing yourself in the process. It touched your fear that if the truth comes out, you will not know how to stand again. That is why the deception feels bigger than one situation. It is because it met you at the place where old pain still lives. Beloved, some of you did not fall into these traps because you are weak. You fell in because you were tired. Tired hearts do not always see the snare quickly. Some of you have been carrying too much for too long. And when someone came along who sounded like relief, you reached for that comfort before fully testing it. I understand that. I know the season you have come through. I know the bills that kept you up at night. I know the pressure you felt to make something work because time, money, and emotional energy had already been invested. I know how financial pressure can make a person overlook warning signs. I know how the weight of responsibility can whisper, just accept this. Just make peace with it. You cannot afford another disappointment. But my child, pressure does not make deception safe. Exhaustion does not make red flags disappear. Some of you also fell into this because your trust was broken before. You were betrayed by someone who should have protected you. You were misled by someone whose voice once felt dependable. You gave your heart where it was mishandled, and now the smallest inconsistency can feel like a thunderclap in your soul. That broken trust is real. I am not minimizing it. In fact, I am naming it because I want you to stop calling yourself dramatic for reacting to patterns that your spirit remembers. Trauma has a memory. It does not only recall pain, it learns how pain shows up. So when something familiar in this new situation begins to mirror the old betrayal, Your body and your spirit respond together. You may call it overthinking, but often it is discernment trying to keep you awake. And for some of you, pride has been woven into it too. Not the pride the world laughs about, but the quiet pride that says, I should be able to handle this. I should be able to figure this out. I should not need help. I should not have gotten myself into anything questionable. My child, pride can hide inside self-protection. It can make you refuse to ask the hard questions because you do not want to look naive. It can make you cling to something uncertain because you do not want to admit you were wrong. It can make you stay too long in a situation that no longer honors your peace because leaving feels like failure. But I did not call you to perform strength for the sake of your image. I called you to walk humbly with me. Humility is not humiliation. Humility is agreeing with the truth even when the truth disrupts your ego. Do you see now why the enemy aimed at this area? He knows that relationships touch identity. They touch dignity. They touch the future. He knows that when he can get you to question your value, he can get you to tolerate what you should reject. He knows that if he can make you afraid of financial lack, he can make you ignore discernment in exchange for perceived security. He knows that if he can keep you anchored in broken trust, he can make you suspicious of everyone or attached to the wrong one. He knows that if he can stir pride, he can keep you from reaching out for wise counsel. That is why this battle has felt so personal. It is not only about who loves you. It is about what you believe about yourself, about me, and about what kind of future I am willing to build with you. But hear me. I am not ashamed of your vulnerability. I am not angry that you needed reassurance. I am not disappointed that you hoped. Hope is not your enemy. Hidden agendas are your enemy. Fear is not your enemy. Fear used without surrender is your enemy. Your longing for connection is not what needs to be condemned. It needs to be brought under my care. I want to heal the places where your fear made you settle and where your pain made you rush. I want to heal the places where broken trust made you suspicious and where pride made you refuse help. I want to heal the places where you have been trying to hold your life together by your own understanding. Because until I heal the root, the fruit will keep repeating. Look at Job, my child. He was not suffering because he was secretly wicked. He was being tested in a way that no one around him fully understood. He lost what he treasured, and people around him had explanations that were too small for the depth of his pain. His friends tried to assign blame, but they did not know the heart of the matter. Yet I saw him. I saw what he carried. I saw the integrity beneath the ashes. I saw the grief under the questions. I saw the moment he did not understand, and I also saw the end I had already prepared. Job did not know why everything was being shaken, but I did. And I restored him in my time, not merely what he had lost, but far more than what was taken. My child, I did this for him, and I am doing it for you. I am not asking you to love pain. I am asking you to trust that I can outlast it. Consider Joseph. He was betrayed by brothers who should have protected him. He was sold, lied about, forgotten, and delayed. People saw a pit, a prison, a setback. I saw positioning. People thought betrayal meant abandonment. I was orchestrating elevation. Joseph had to endure hiddenness before visibility, because his character had to mature where his calling would one day stand. My child, I did this for him, and I am doing it for you. You may feel hidden, misunderstood, or even betrayed by someone close to you, but I am not wasting the pain. I am preparing you through it. And yes, I know the waiting is long. I know the silence can feel like absence. But Joseph's story proves that delayed revelation is not denied destiny. Remember David. I chose him while others overlooked him. I anointed him while he was still tending sheep, still unknown, still dismissed. Then, after the oil, came the caves, came the pursuit, came the betrayal, came the lonely years where the promise and the reality did not match. David had to learn how to worship in the wilderness before he could steward the throne. He had to learn how to trust me when people turned against him and when timing seemed cruel. My child, I did this for him, and I am doing it for you. The thing you are walking through is not proof that I forgot my promise. It may be the proving ground that will keep you grounded when the blessing arrives. If you cannot discern in the cave, you will struggle to rule in the palace. So I am training your heart now. And Moses, beloved, Moses tried to move in his own strength, and he ended up in exile before he ended up in deliverance. 40 years in the wilderness had a way of stripping him of the confidence of Egypt and teaching him dependence on me. He had to meet me in the burning bush when everything familiar had already been stripped away. He had to learn that the call on his life was not built on his position, his education, or his ability to force outcomes. It was built on my presence. My child, I did this for him, and I am doing it for you. You are not in this place because I am unable to rescue you. You are in this place because I am making you the kind of person who can carry what I am about to entrust to you. Do not miss this. Each of these men faced something hidden before something glorious was revealed. Job did not see the full reason at the beginning. Joseph did not see the purpose of the pit. David did not see the throne immediately after the oil. Moses did not see the promised land before the wilderness. The pattern is clear, my child. Hiddenness comes before unveiling. Testing comes before testimony. The part you do not understand today is often the very part that will make sense later when you can finally say, "Now I see why you led me this way." You are not the first to feel the pain of waiting while truth was being prepared, and you will not be the last. But you can be one of the few who learns to trust me in the middle of it. I know the enemy has been whispering. If they were really for you, it would not be this hard. But that is a lie. Hard does not always mean wrong, and easy does not always mean right. Some of the most dangerous deceptions come wrapped in ease. That is why you must not judge a thing by how quickly it calms your nerves. A counterfeit can feel relieving at first. A real assignment from me may require patience, purification, and surrender. So do not automatically assume that pressure means absence. Sometimes pressure is the place where false things crack open and true things are refined. I am not afraid of the pressure. I use it. Some of you have asked, "Lord, why did you let me trust them if they were hiding something?" My child, I did not lead you into deception. I permitted you to see what needed to be seen so that you would learn to discern more deeply. There is a difference between my permission and my endorsement. Not every connection you encounter is my final yes. Some are exposures. Some are interruptions. Some are lessons. Some are warnings. And some are mercies in disguise because they reveal where you are still vulnerable before you make a covenant that would be harder to untangle later. I know that sounds painful. I know you would rather hear that everything meant something sweet. But truth is kinder than fantasy when fantasy is leading you toward harm. There are also some of you who are afraid that if this person is exposed, you will lose not only them, but the future you imagined. And I want to address that gently. You are grieving two things at once, the person and the picture. The person may or may not be your forever, but the picture you carried in your mind is already precious to you. You imagine the shared holidays, the support, the healing, the second chance at trust, the family conversations, the peace, the stability. Of course, your heart resists anything that threatens that image. Of course, you hesitate when the truth begins to press against the dream. But, beloved, I am not cruel to your future. I do not dismantle what I plan to bless. What I expose because it cannot become a holy foundation for what you truly need. I want you to think about how many times I have already been faithful in ways you only recognized later. The closed door that saved you. The missed connection that redirected you. The job you did not get that would have drained you. The move that seemed delayed but arrived exactly in time. The prayer I answered differently than you requested because I saw more than you did. If I have been faithful in the small things, why would you assume I have suddenly become careless with the deepest longing of your heart? I have seen every tear you cried over loneliness. I have heard every prayer you whispered when nobody was around. I have seen the moments you almost gave up on love altogether. And I have not despised your desire. I have been filtering it through my wisdom. There is a reason certain truths are coming soon and not all at once. If I revealed everything at the beginning, you might have been overwhelmed and dismissed what you needed to learn. If I revealed everything too early, your flesh might have acted out of pain instead of wisdom. So I have been allowing the story to unfold in the right order. Not to confuse you, but to prepare you. My timing is not random. The unveiling is coming at the exact point where you are ready to see enough to choose wisely. You do not need to force the rest. You do not need to rush the conversation. You do not need to create dramatic conclusions. Just stay close to me and let truth surface naturally. The light will do its work. Beloved, I am also healing your relationship with waiting. Waiting has felt like punishment to you because the enemy taught you to interpret delay as rejection. But my delays are often where I do my deepest work. While you wait, I reveal motives. While you wait, I reveal gaps. While you wait, I reveal whether your heart is anchored in me or in the idea of finally being chosen. While you wait, I prepare what your emotions could not handle before now. The waiting is not empty. It is loaded with mercy. It is loaded with warning. It is loaded with preparation. And in this particular situation, it is loaded with revelation. I know some of you are exhausted from wondering whether you should confront, release, pray harder, or stay silent. My child, do not let fear force you into premature moves. Wait for my peace. Wait for my clarity. Wait for the evidence I am bringing. When I want you to speak, I will make it clear. When I want you to step back, I will make it clear. When I want you to release someone, I will not leave you guessing forever. But right now, I am training you not to be ruled by the urgency of your nerves. You do not need to solve this tonight. You need to stay yielded tonight. That is enough. And if your heart says, "But Lord, what if I never get the love I long for?" Then let me answer the fear beneath the question. My child, I am not a God who teases you with desire only to abandon you to emptiness. I am the one who knows how to satisfy, how to heal, how to restore, and how to give good gifts in due season. But I will not place your deepest longing into the hands of someone who is hiding something that would poison it. I will not. I love you too much. So if a hidden thing is present, I will expose it before it becomes a covenant wound. I will expose it before it steals more years. I will expose it before it hardens your heart. I will expose it because I am protecting your becoming. Do you hear me, my beloved? I am not just protecting your relationship. I am protecting your identity. I am protecting your capacity to trust rightly in the future. I am protecting your ability to love without fear later on. I am protecting your peace. I am protecting your calling. Because what happens in this area of your life affects every other area too. The enemy knows that. That is why he aimed here. But I know it too, and I am already countering his work. The hidden thing is not stronger than my light. The lie is not stronger than my truth. The delay is not stronger than my timing. And the one who has been hiding something will not outrun what I am bringing to the surface. So keep your eyes on me, my child. Not on the swirl. Not on the rumors. Not on the fear. Not on the signs you try to manufacture from panic. Keep your eyes on me. I am the God who sees behind the curtain. I am the God who knows the secret heart. I am the God who watches the conversations you never heard and the motives you were never told. I am the God who can take what was meant to confuse you and turn it into clarity, wisdom, and peace. I am the God who led Job through suffering, Joseph through betrayal, David through the cave, and Moses through the wilderness, and I have not changed. I did this for them, and I am doing it for you. And as this continues to unfold, do not be startled when what you suspected begins to be confirmed in ways you cannot deny. Do not be surprised when the pattern becomes obvious. Do not be shocked when the truth finally speaks louder than the story you were told. That moment is coming. I am near it. I am in it. And I will meet you there, my child, with the strength you need to face what has been hidden and the grace you need to walk forward when the light comes on. My child, I want you to slow down for a moment and feel the weight of what I am saying, because the truth I am bringing you now is not just for your mind. It is for the part of you that has been surviving on adrenaline. It is for the part of you that has been waking up tired, going to bed tired, and carrying a smile into places where your heart has been breaking apart in private. I know what the last season has looked like for you in the natural. I know about the job loss that shook your confidence and made you wonder how you would keep going. I know about the divorce that did not just split a household, but split your sense of security right down the middle. I know about the illness that changed your routines, slowed your body, and forced you to face questions you were not ready to ask. I know about the betrayal that came from someone you thought would never turn on you. I know about the nights when you stared at the ceiling and counted the hours, not because you were resting, but because you were simply waiting for the pain to loosen its grip. Beloved, I saw every one of those nights. I saw you sitting at the kitchen table long after everyone else had gone to bed, your hands wrapped around a cup that had gone cold. I saw you refreshing your phone, hoping for one honest message, one clear answer, one sign that someone still cared enough to tell the truth. I saw you reading and rereading conversations, trying to catch the moment things shifted. I saw you driving with tears in your eyes because the road felt safer than your own thoughts. I saw you working through your day while carrying a private panic in your chest. And I saw the way all of it made your soul more vulnerable to anyone who sounded like rescue. That is why this hidden thing got in. That is why this uncertainty became so powerful. Because you were already depleted. Because your heart was already stretched thin. Because pain lowers the guard when it has been present long enough. It does not mean you are foolish. It means you are human. It means you were longing for relief. It means you were hoping that maybe, just maybe, this one relationship would be the place where everything finally felt safe. But when the heart is starving for peace, it can mistake familiarity for faithfulness. And I am bringing you back from that edge. But there is something I need you to know before I say anything else. What you have been calling a delay was not me forgetting you. What you have been calling a detour was not me denying you. What you have been calling a disappointment was not me abandoning you. It was preparation. It was not wasted time. It was not meaningless silence. It was a mercy-filled pause that kept you from stepping into something before you were ready to see it clearly. I know that changes the way you feel about the waiting. I know it does. Because if the delay was preparation, then the pain was not pointless. The questions were not pointless. The closed doors were not pointless. The nights when you begged me to hurry were not pointless. I was building something in you while I was also protecting you from something around you. You see, my child, delay and preparation often feel the same while you are inside them. Both can feel like nothing is happening. Both can feel like unanswered prayer. Both can feel like you are being left behind while other people move forward. But they are not the same. A delay is a pause in motion. Preparation is a pause with purpose. Preparation is me strengthening what you cannot see so that you do not collapse under what you cannot yet carry. Preparation is me exposing what you need to know so you do not enter blind. Preparation is me teaching your spirit how to recognize peace from pressure, truth from performance, and covenant from confusion. I know some of you are sitting in places that feel impossible right now. Maybe you lost the job and the next one has not come. Maybe the marriage ended and you are trying to rebuild a life that does not look like the one you planned. Maybe the diagnosis changed everything. Maybe your adult child stopped calling. Maybe the person you trusted with your secrets turned them into gossip. Maybe you are trying to make sense of a future that no longer fits the picture you once held. And in all of that, you met someone who seemed to bring comfort, attention, or a fresh start. That is why this revelation matters so deeply, because it is touching the exact place where you were most vulnerable. And I want you to know that I was there in the vulnerability too. I was there when your finances looked tight and fear started talking loud. I was there when you wondered how you would cover the bills. I was there when you felt embarrassed asking for help. I was there when you feared becoming a burden. I was there when pride told you to keep it all together and never let anyone see how hard it really was. And I was there when someone's attention made you feel, for a brief moment, like maybe the struggle was over. But my child, when fear is loud, it can make you accept things you would not normally accept. When loneliness is heavy, it can make you overlook what you would otherwise question. When your heart is exhausted, even a small amount of kindness can seem like a miracle. I know that. I designed you with a need for connection, but I did not design you to be deceived. So now I need you to breathe with me. Just breathe. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your heart slow down. I am not rushing you. I am not scolding you. I am trying to steady you, because the next part requires stillness. There are some things I can only reveal when you are willing to stop grasping for control long enough to receive what I am saying. The loudest confusion in your life is not the situation itself. It is the fear that you might not survive the truth, but you will. You will survive it because I am in the truth, and where I am, fear does not get the final word. Now listen closely, beloved. The reason this person withheld things was not random. The reason they were not fully transparent was not because you were not worth honesty. It was because what they were hiding would have forced a decision they did not want to make. Some people hide because they want to keep options open. Some hide because they want the comfort of your trust without the cost of their own honesty. Some hide because they are still attached to another direction, another relationship, another dream, or another version of themselves that does not fit the life they are presenting to you. Some hide because they know the truth would make you step back. And what they fear most is not losing you. It is losing access to what you give them. Your presence, your care, your belief in them, your loyalty. But do not let that wound your heart too deeply. Let it instruct you. Because once you see why they hid, you will also see why I let the concealment come to the surface now instead of later. If I had revealed it too early, you might have blamed yourself. You might have rushed into a reaction shaped by fear. You might have tried to fix what only truth could expose. But now, after all you have been through, after all the pressure, after all the sleepless nights, after all the prayers, Your spirit is finally strong enough to hear what your emotions tried to drown out. This is why the delay was preparation. I was preparing you not only to receive truth, but to survive its arrival without losing your mind. There are moments in life when the body knows before the mind does. You notice your appetite changing. You notice a heaviness that comes and goes. You notice the strange interruption in your peace. You cannot explain it, but your spirit is alarmed. That alarm was part of the preparation too. I was teaching you to listen before the facts were visible. Because if you learn to listen when the only evidence is a quiet check in your heart, you will not be so easily manipulated when the stakes are higher. Discernment is not about becoming suspicious of everyone. It is about learning the sound of my voice in you so that counterfeit peace does not fool you. I know you have had moments when you wanted to ignore the warning because the picture looked so promising. The texts were sweet. The attention was steady for a while. The dreams seemed aligned. The words were almost perfect. But almost is not the same as holy. Almost is where many hearts get trapped. Almost good enough. Almost honest enough. Almost safe enough. Almost ready enough. Almost faithful enough. I am not leading you into almost. I am leading you into what is true. And if what is true requires an unveiling that shakes your expectations, then let the shaking do its work. Maybe you have been through a season where your entire foundation felt unstable. The house felt too quiet after divorce. The phone felt too quiet after betrayal. The doctor's office felt too final after the diagnosis. The job search felt too endless after the layoff. The money felt too tight after the unexpected expense. The family felt too divided after the conflict. In those kinds of seasons, the heart often reaches for the first thing that feels like certainty. But certainty built on secrecy is not peace. It is a trap wearing a soft voice. I am saving you from false certainty. You may be asking, Lord, why did you let me get attached? And I am telling you that not every attachment is a mistake to me. Some attachments reveal where your heart still needs healing. Some attachments show you what you have been starving for. Some attachments expose how much you have been willing to sacrifice for the promise of belonging. That does not make you shameful. It makes you teachable. I am not condemning the hunger. I am redirecting it. I am teaching your soul that no human being is allowed to take the place of the security that only I can give. And now I want to bring you back to the stories you know so well, because they are not just old accounts. They are mirrors. They are proof that what you are experiencing is not unfamiliar to heaven. Joseph could not see the palace while he was in the pit. Job could not see the restoration while he was on the ash heap. David could not see the throne while he was running for his life. Moses could not see the Red Sea parting until he stood before it. My child, the delay was not evidence of denial. It was evidence that I was preparing the moment for the revelation to mean something greater than if it had come too soon. Joseph had to learn how to stay faithful when misunderstood. That is what you are learning now. Job had to learn how to trust me when his world was stripped of all the familiar supports. That is what you are learning now. David had to learn how to worship while being pursued and misjudged. That is what you are learning now. Moses had to learn that he could not lead by his own strength. That is what you are learning now. And in each of these lives, I was not passive. I was active. I was arranging. I was measuring. I was timing. I was protecting. My child, I did this for them, and I am doing it for you. There is a moment coming when the truth will no longer be avoidable. You will see the pattern. You will hear the phrase that confirms what you suspected. You will notice the contradiction that can no longer be explained away. You will feel the shift in your spirit when the picture finally becomes clear. And when that happens, I do not want you to say, "Why did this take so long?" I want you to say, "Thank you for not letting me enter blind." Because once the truth is revealed, you will see that the timing was mercy. You will see that the pressure was refinement. You will see that what felt like silence was I, the Lord, guarding you from a premature yes. My child, sometimes I allow the tension to stretch because stretching reveals what cannot bend without breaking. A relationship built on truth can withstand scrutiny. A person walking in honesty will not fear exposure. But a hidden thing will start to crack when my light presses against it. That cracking is part of the revelation. Do not be afraid if the conversation suddenly becomes awkward or if details begin to emerge that make you pause. I am in that pause. I am in that awkwardness. I am in that sudden clarity. I am not absent from the unraveling. I am directing it. You have also been learning something important about yourself in this process. You have discovered how much you desire peace over drama. You have discovered that your spirit cannot truly settle when there is dishonesty present. You have discovered that even when your mind wants to hold on, your heart keeps resisting what is crooked. That resistance is a gift. The enemy wanted to use your loneliness to keep you trapped, but I used your discomfort to keep you awake. Every time you felt that subtle unease, I was training you. Every time you noticed the inconsistency, I was teaching you. Every time you wondered why something did not feel right, I was inviting you deeper into discernment. Now, beloved, let me speak tenderly to the part of you that feels foolish for missing the signs earlier. Do not do that to yourself. You are not foolish. You are hopeful. Hope is not stupid. Hope is holy when it is placed in me. What made the pain sharp was not that you hoped. It was that you hoped while someone else was withholding the full truth. I am not mocking your hope. I am redeeming it. I am teaching it where to live now. From this point forward, hope does not need to be blind to be faithful. Hope can have eyes open. Hope can be wise. Hope can wait for evidence. Hope can demand truth. Hope can stand still until peace and clarity agree. And if you are wondering whether this revelation means the end of everything good, listen to me. Sometimes revelation ends the wrong thing, so the right thing can begin. The end of a false path is not the end of your destiny. The collapse of a deceptive connection is not the collapse of your future. I am not only revealing what was hidden, I am also opening the way for what is honest. The delay was preparation because I had to prepare you to release what could not carry you and receive what can. The next chapter is not built on what was hidden. It is built on what is now coming into the light. So if your hands have been trembling, let them tremble in my presence. If your heart has been grieving, grieve in my presence. If your mind has been racing, bring it into my presence. I can hold every part of this. I can handle your tears. I can handle your questions. I can handle your anger. I can handle the deep ache that comes from realizing someone you trusted was not fully honest. I can handle all of it. What I ask of you is this. Do not let the revelation drive you away from me. Let it drive you deeper into me. Because, beloved, the same God who reveals hidden things is also the God who restores those who have been wounded by them. The same God who uncovers deception is the God who brings peace after the exposure. The same God who told Joseph he would rise is the God who carried him through the hidden years. The same God who called David while he was still in the field is the God who sustained him in the cave. The same God who met Moses at the burning bush is the God who parted the sea. And that same God is speaking to you now, telling you that the delay was preparation all along. I know this changes the lens through which you see everything. I know it may make you cry again, because sometimes truth does that before it heals. But do not be afraid of the tears. They are washing away the fantasy so you can finally see clearly. And when you see clearly, you will not just see what was hidden. You will see me more clearly too. You will see that I was never late. You will see that I was never confused. You will see that I was working in the shadows while you were standing in the storm. My child, stay with me here. Do not hurry past this moment. The turning point is not just that something was hidden. The turning point is that the hiding could not outlast my preparation. The delay gave you time to grow, time to notice, time to feel the warning, time to become strong enough to receive the truth without breaking apart. What felt like a setback was actually structure being laid beneath your feet. What felt like waiting was me building capacity in you. What felt like silence was me arranging revelation. And now the moment is nearing when you will understand why I held you back. Not to deny you, to prepare you. My child, now that you can see the preparation behind the delay, I want to bring you into the promise behind the pain. I want to speak over your life with the authority of heaven, because the truth is not only that something hidden is being revealed. The truth is also that I have not left you empty in the process. I have been filling you with wisdom, building you with endurance, and surrounding you with grace that you did not know how to ask for at the beginning. And I need you to know this clearly. What is coming next will not be ruled by the betrayal, the confusion, or the silence. It will be ruled by my hand. Beloved, I am the Lord who goes before you and behind you. I am the one who makes a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. I am the one who sees every hidden thing and still chooses to cover you in mercy. I am the one who can take what was meant to wound you and turn it into a testimony that strengthens someone else. I am the one who does not merely expose lies. I also establish truth. So now I am declaring over you that confusion will not have the final say. Fear will not have the final say. Delay will not have the final say. Hidden motives will not have the final say. What I speak over your life will stand. I speak peace into your mind right now. Not the kind of peace that depends on getting all the answers immediately, but the peace that guards your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus, even before every detail is resolved. I speak discernment over your spirit. As it is written, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously without finding fault, and it will be given. So ask me, my child. Ask me for wisdom, and I will not withhold it. Ask me for clarity, and I will give it. Ask me for the ability to see beneath appearances, and I will sharpen your discernment. Ask me for the courage to respond rightly when truth is revealed, and I will steady your steps. I speak protection over your heart. I know that some of you have already been hurt enough to build walls, and others of you have been hurt enough to leave the door open too wide. I am healing both extremes. I am teaching you how to keep your heart with all diligence, because from it flow the springs of life. Your heart is not meant to be thrown to every voice that sounds sincere. Your heart is not meant to be handed over to every person who promises forever. Your heart is precious to me, and I am guarding it. I am placing holy boundaries around you. I am teaching you that protection is not punishment. It is provision. It is my love in action. And I speak courage over you. Because when truth comes, courage is what will keep you from shrinking back into old fear. Courage is what will help you say, I hear what has been revealed, and I will not deny it. Courage is what will help you let go of what cannot stay. Courage is what will help you walk away from what looked good but could not be trusted. Courage is what will help you embrace what I am truly building. For I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So receive the soundness I am breathing into you. Receive the steadiness. Receive the calm. Receive the authority to stand without trembling at every uncertain thing. I speak breakthrough over your finances, because I know how much pressure has been attached to this battle. Some of you have been tempted to stay in a relationship because of money, housing, shared plans, or the fear of starting over. But I am breaking the grip of financial fear. I am opening new provision. I am uncovering resources. I am giving you favor in places that looked closed. I am teaching you that your future is not locked inside any one person's pockets, promises, or plans. The earth is mine, and the fullness thereof. I am not limited by the income of the one you trusted. I am not limited by the loss you have endured. I am not limited by the numbers on the page. I am your provider, and I will make a way. I speak healing over broken trust. Not just trust with people, but trust in me. Because I know some of you have been trying to trust me while silently wondering if I saw enough, cared enough, or moved fast enough. Beloved, I saw everything. I cared in every moment. I moved in ways you could not yet perceive. And I am restoring the place where pain made you suspicious of my timing. I am reminding you that I work all things together for good for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. That does not mean all things feel good. It means I can use all things. The betrayal, the delay, the exposure, the disappointment, the waiting, the ache, the silence, the questions, the tears. I can use it all. But there is something I need you to hold tightly before you move into the next part of your healing. Not every revelation arrives in the form you expect. Sometimes the truth will not come as a dramatic confession. Sometimes it will come as a subtle confirmation that cannot be denied. Sometimes it will come through a sudden change in tone, a document, a conversation, an unexpected witness, a detail that surfaces, or a piece that settles only after the illusion breaks. Do not demand that truth look theatrical. Demand only that it be true. Because what I am bringing will not be designed to impress your emotions. It will be designed to free your soul. And beloved, once the truth is exposed, I need you to remember that exposure is not the same as destruction. Exposure is what happens when light enters a place that has been hiding something. Sometimes what is exposed must be removed. Sometimes what is exposed must be confessed. Sometimes what is exposed must be grieved. But whatever the outcome, the point is always freedom. The truth will not lead you deeper into bondage. It will lead you out. So do not fear the moment the curtain moves. I am behind it. I am in front of it. I am over it. I am guiding the outcome. I also want to speak directly to those of you who have been blaming yourself for missing what was hidden. My child, I am breaking that accusation now. You are not stupid because you trusted. You are not weak because you hoped. You are not less spiritual because you wanted love. You are not naive because you believed the best for a season. What happened to you does not define your discernment forever. It refines it. It deepens it. It matures it. Do not let one painful chapter rewrite your identity. You are still mine. You are still wise. You are still being led. And you are still going to see goodness in the land of the living. As I speak over you, I also want to remind you of my promises that have not expired. I promise that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. I promise that my grace is sufficient for you. I promise that I would never leave you nor forsake you. I promise that the plans I have for you are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. I promise that no weapon formed against you will prosper. I promise that what the enemy meant for evil, I can turn for good. I promise that if you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, all these things will be added unto you. I promise that I will guide you with my eye. I promise that I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. So let these promises become the ground beneath your feet. When your mind starts wandering back into fear, stand on my word. When old questions rise up, stand on my word. When the truth lands and your heart shakes, stand on my word. When grief comes, stand on my word. When peace seems far away, stand on my word. My word is not fragile. It does not break under pressure. It does not lose power because the circumstances look uncertain. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Now let me address the longing underneath all of this. Because I know some of you are not only asking for clarity. You are asking, will I ever get what I truly want? Will I ever be loved faithfully? Will I ever be seen without having to prove my worth? Will I ever experience the kind of covenant that does not require fear? My child, yes, I know the desires of your heart, and I am not mocking them. I planted holy desire in you, but I will not let that desire be kidnapped by confusion. I will purify it. I will refine it. I will align it with my wisdom. And when I bring what is truly yours, it will not demand you betray your peace to keep it. I know many of you have been asking for a soulmate, but what you really need first is an uncompromised yes from me. Because once my yes is clear, everything else begins to line up differently. A relationship covered by my presence does not require you to chase truth. It does not require you to fear hidden agendas. It does not require you to shrink your standards to keep someone close. It will carry honesty, peace, and mutual surrender to my will. So if the thing you are holding now cannot withstand truth, let it go. If it cannot withstand exposure, let it go. If it cannot withstand prayerful scrutiny, let it go. I have something better, and better is not always faster, but it is always worth it. I speak now over every person who has been sitting in the middle of heartbreak, wondering why a promise seems to be unraveling. My child, I am not unraveling your future. I am unraveling the deception inside it. I am separating what is real from what is imitation. I am separating peace from performance. I am separating covenant from convenience. I am separating your destiny from your fear. And as I do, you will begin to breathe differently. Not all at once, perhaps, but steadily. You will notice that the tightness in your chest loosens. You will notice that the panic softens. You will notice that your spirit begins to rest, because I have taken over the burden of figuring everything out. And yes, there may still be a conversation. There may still be an admission. There may still be a moment where the truth is spoken plainly and you realize, this is what you were warning me about. Do not fear that moment. You will not be alone in it. I will be there with you in the room, in the car, in the quiet, in the tears, in the silence afterward. I will help you choose your words. I will help you discern whether to stay, step back, or step away. I will help you see whether repentance is genuine or whether the same pattern is repeating. I will help you if forgiveness is needed, and I will help you if release is required. I am not asking you to carry the burden of discernment without my help. I am with you in the decision. Beloved, I also want to heal the shame that has tried to attach itself to your story. Shame says, you should have known better. Shame says, you embarrassed yourself. Shame says, you are too old for this. Or, you should have been farther along by now. Or, why did you let this happen again? But I am silencing shame. I am not calling you to live under self-contempt. I am calling you to live under grace. I am calling you to learn, yes, but not to hate yourself in the learning. I am calling you to grow wiser without becoming colder. I am calling you to become stronger without becoming closed off. I am calling you to become more discerning without becoming cynical. That balance comes from me. Now let me pray over you deeply. As a shepherd prays over the sheep he knows by name. My child, close your eyes for a moment in your heart. Let these words sink deeper than the fear. I am with you. Father, I bring my beloved before you now, and I ask that you would wrap them in the kind of peace that surpasses understanding. Let that peace guard their heart and mind in Christ Jesus. Where there has been anxiety, replace it with holy stillness. Where there has been confusion, release clarity. Where there has been dread, release courage. Where there has been emotional exhaustion, release fresh strength. Where there has been suspicion, release discernment that is clean, calm, and spirit-led. Where there has been self-blame, release mercy. Let them know in the depths of their being that you are not accusing them. You are leading them. Father, I ask that you would protect them from deception in every form. Protect them from words that sound right, but are not true. Protect them from people who carry hidden motives. Protect them from manipulation disguised as affection. Protect them from financial entanglements that would keep them bound to what you are trying to separate. Protect them from making decisions out of panic, loneliness, or the need to be chosen. Protect them from settling for what is available when you have something aligned and wholly prepared for them. Let every trap be uncovered before it can close. Let every snare be exposed before it can take root. Let every lie lose its power in the light of your truth. Father, I ask that you would restore their confidence. Many of them have been made to feel small, overlooked, or uncertain. Some have lost jobs and felt invisible. Some have gone through divorce and felt discarded. Some have walked through sickness and felt weakened. Some have been betrayed and felt foolish. Let shame fall away. Let accusation break. Let the voice of the enemy go silent. Remind them that they are not a mistake, not a burden, not forgotten, and not beyond your careful hand. Remind them that you chose them, you see them, and you are still writing their story with wisdom and love. Father, I ask for wisdom. In the conversations ahead, if there is something that needs to be addressed, give them the right words. If there is something that needs to be waited on, give them restraint. If there is something that needs to be released, give them peace to let it go. If there is repentance that is genuine, let them recognize it. If there is manipulation hidden beneath apology, let them see it clearly. Remove every veil from their eyes that would keep them from truth. And where they have been spiritually tired, strengthen them with power in their inner being. Father, I ask for breakthrough in the areas that have been tied to this confusion. Breakthrough in finances. Breakthrough in housing. Breakthrough in employment. Breakthrough in health. Breakthrough in rest. Breakthrough in emotional stability. Breakthrough in relationships that are rooted in honesty and your presence. Let the people around them who are meant to stay be strengthened in truth. Let the people who are not aligned be gently, clearly, and completely removed from the center of their path. And let your will be done without resistance from fear. Father, I ask that you would heal the wound beneath the wound. Heal the place where this situation touched older pain. Heal the place where abandonment still speaks. Heal the place where betrayal still echoes. Heal the place where control was learned as survival. Heal the place where pride covered fear. Heal the place where finances created panic. Heal the place where loneliness made compromise look like comfort. Heal them so deeply that the next season of their life begins from a healthier foundation than the one they had before. Father, I ask that you would help them wait well. Not passively, not anxiously, not with clenched fists, but with expectancy and trust. Teach them how to wait without becoming bitter. Teach them how to wait without manufacturing signs. Teach them how to wait without forcing outcomes. Teach them how to wait with their lamp burning and their heart at peace. Teach them how to be still and know that you are God. Teach them how to watch and pray. Teach them how to receive what you reveal in the timing you choose. Father, I ask that you would honor the tears they have already cried. You count them. You remember them. You have seen each one. Let none of their sorrow be wasted. Let every tear water the soil of a stronger future. Let every disappointment become wisdom. Let every hidden thing that is exposed become a stepping stone into greater freedom. Let them emerge from this not diminished, but refined. Not hardened, but anchored. Not afraid, but alert and at peace. Not desperate, but satisfied in you first. Father, I ask for a supernatural courage to obey when you say move and to remain when you say wait. Give them the kind of courage that does not need applause. Give them the kind of courage that remains steady even when others misunderstand. Give them the kind of courage that can walk away from what is not true and still believe in love. Give them the kind of courage that can face the truth without collapsing. Give them the kind of courage that lets them say, "Even here, the Lord is with me." Father, I ask for divine timing over every area that has felt delayed. Bring the right provision at the right hour. Bring the right door at the right moment. Bring the right clarity when their spirit can receive it. Bring healing when their body needs it. Bring direction when their path is unclear. Bring restoration where there has been loss. Bring newness where there has been weariness. Bring a fresh sense of calling where they have felt stuck. Let your timing prove again that you are never late. And Father, I ask that if this relationship is meant to continue in truth, then let truth be the foundation from this point forward. Let honesty be established. Let every hidden thing be brought into the light without resistance. Let repentance be sincere. Let integrity be visible. Let peace replace suspicion. But if it is not your will, then give them the grace to release it completely without torment. Do not let them cling to what you have exposed. Do not let them confuse familiarity with favor. Do not let them stay where secrecy has broken trust. Lead them into freedom, no matter what form that takes. My child, I am praying with you, not just over you. I am close enough to hold the trembling places, close enough to hear the questions you whisper, close enough to catch the tears that fall when no one else is looking, close enough to walk you through the truth. And I will not leave you at the doorway of revelation. I will step with you into what comes next. So receive this now. I am turning what looked like delay into evidence of my mercy. I am turning what looked like silence into a testimony of my protection. I am turning what looked like confusion into clear instruction. I am turning what looked like betrayal into a separation that saves you. I am turning what looked like loss into a pathway for lasting peace. What I have prepared cannot be stolen. What I have promised cannot fail. What I have hidden from the enemy will be revealed to you at the right time. And when it is, you will know that my hand was on every part of it. My beloved, walk forward in peace, even before every answer arrives. Trust me with the hidden thing. Trust me with the timing. Trust me with the outcome. Trust me with your heart. I am writing a story of truth, not confusion. I am leading you into light, not fear. And I will finish what I started in you. You are not abandoned. You are being uncovered, protected, and prepared. And when the truth comes, you will still be standing,